So today we are going to discuss about your chapter number 15, which is some natural phenomena. You have already learned in class 7th about wind, storm and cyclone. So in this and you have learned that the cyclone can cause a lot of the damage in the of the human life as well as your property also. So you also learn in the class 7 that how we can protect ourselves from these destructive phenomena, and in this chapter we will discuss that the two other destructive natural phenomena, and that are your lightning and earthquake. These are the lightning and earthquake. So we will discuss what the steps we can take the minimize the destruction which is caused by these phenomena in this chapter. So let's start with the lightning. You have already seen in the rainy season some sparks on the electrical pole, in the rainy season some spark into the sky, and sometimes generally example if we are able to see, so you are able to see the sparks into the electrical pole when the wire become loose. Okay, so this phenomena is a quite similar, quite common when the wind is blowing and shaking the wire. So you might also have seen the spark when the plug is loose and in the socket also. Okay, means the whenever the plug is loose we are going to be pulled out, so we are able to see the sparks in the sockets. So lightning is also the same electrical spark, but on the it occurs on the huge scale. In the ancient time, what is happening? The people did not understand the cause of these sparks, and they afraid of about the light, and they thought that it is a worth of the god, was worth of the god which is visiting to them. So now, of course, nowadays we are understand that the lightning and what is the cause lightning, and what is the cause behind that. So we know that the lightning is caused by the accumulation of the charges in the cloud, and we do not have to afraid about the lightning, but we have to take precautions to protect ourselves from these deadly sparks. So the sparks that is basically a Greeks knew about. The ancient Greek who knew earlier in 600 BC that when the amber was rubbed with the fur, so it attract the light objects such as a hair. So you might also have seen whenever you wear of a woolen cloth or polyester cloth, and you take off these woolen and polyester cloths, so your hair is going to be stand, and if you take off these cloths in the dark, so you are able to see a spark or hear a crackling sound. Why? Because of the because of the interaction with the two opposite charges. In 1752, the Benjamin Franklin, who is a American scientist, so that the lightning and the sparks forms your clothes are essentially the same phenomena. However, it took 2000 years of this realization to occurs. We also wondered why they took so many years to realize the similarity, because the scientific discovery is a result of the hard work of many people, and it takes the lot of time. Now we shall now have to study about the property of electrical charges. So we shall have to also see how they are related to the lightning in the sky. So to understand how it is related to the lightning in the sky, we have to perform some activity to understand the nature of electrical charges. But recall, first of all, you have to recall what you might have played as a game. So when you rub a plastic scale on your dry hair, so the scales can attract very small piece of paper. Okay. It is occurs due to the charging by rubbing. Okay. So to understand how the charge is gained by object by rubbing, so how a object get charged by rubbing. So to understand for that, we have to perform an activity 15.1. So for that we have to take a used ball pen, refill and rub it vigorously with the piece of a polythene, and now bring it to a small piece of the paper. When you are bringing it near the small piece of the paper, so take care, do not touch with the rub end of this refill with your hand and with the metallic object. You have to take care of that. It will not touch with the any object or with your hand. Now you have to repeat this activity with the small piece of the dry leaf, husk and mustard seeds, and you have to record these observation. Okay. So this activity 15.1 you have to perform by yourself. So when the plastic refill we rub with the polythene, so it acquired the small, we know that it acquired some small charges. Similarly, when the plastic comb is rubbed with the dry hair, it also acquires small charges, and these objects are called charge object. Means after the rubbing, the object which gain the charge, that objects are called charge object. In this process of the charging of refill and the plastic comb, the polythene and hair is also get charged. So let's try to charge some other object that are familiar to you. So here's the some objects are given in the table like refill, and on which material you have to rub it, that is also mentioned. Like refill is you have to rub on the polythene, woolen cloth, and you have to be record your observation in this table at your book. Okay, so this is your homework. The next object is your balloon, or you have the balloon, you have to blow the balloon and you have to rub on the polythene or woolen cloth or dry hair, and after that you have to record the observation in the table. Third one is your eraser with the wool, steel spoon with the polythene and woolen cloth. All the things you have to perform all these things, and you have to record your observation on your table 15.1. Now let's understand the types of the charges and their interaction. We have selected some object in the table 15.1 for the next activity. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to perform if you want to know what the types of the charges are present in the interaction and their interaction, so we have to perform an activity like 15.3. In that, what you have to do, you have to inflate the two balloons, okay, and hang them in such a way that they do not touch in each other as it is shown in the diagram. Now rub both the balloon with the swollen cloth, woolen cloth, and release them. After the rubbing you have to release them. Okay, what you are going to be observed, you have to be noted down at your notebook. Now let's repeat this activity with the use. So when you release these objects, so these two balloons are going to be apart from there. This is why, because it means that we know that the same charges reflect with each other, and the opposite charges attract to each other. So the both are the balloons, so they get the same charges and they That's why they are going to repel each other. Now if let's repeat this activity with the use pen refill. Now rub one refill with the polythene, place it carefully in the glass tumbler using the tumbler as a stand. Okay. Now rub the other refill also on the with the polythene and bring it close to charge refill. So what you are able to now, if we carefully and be careful, do not touch the charge end with your hand. Is there any effect on the refill in the tumbler? So what we are able to see, the refill is going to be moved and reflect to each other. Why? Because do these two attract each other? No. Or repel each other? Yes. They repel each other because they contain the same charges. So these activities we have to brought the closer to the charge object that were made to the same material. Now what happens if the two objects made the different material are brought close to the each other? So to find out, so to understand if the two object is made up of the different material, so what thing is happening? So to understand for this, we have to again perform an activity in that. What we have to do, we have to rub a refill and place it gently in the glass tumbler as before we have done. Okay. Now bring the inflamed charge balloon near the refill and record your observation. A charge balloon repel a charge balloon. We know that if there is a charge, as we have seen earlier, a charge balloon was repelling the other charge balloon. A charge refill is also repelled a charge refill as we have performed in the activity. But the charge in the third activity, if we are bringing a charge balloon near to the charge refill, so they attract the charge balloon attract a charge refill. So it's indicate that the charge on the balloon is of the different kind from the charge which is present on the refill. So we can say that there is a two kind of the charges. And there is a two kind of the charges, and we can also say that the charge of the same kind can is repel to each other, while the charge of the different kind attract to each other. So inconvenience to call the charge acquired by the glass rod when it is rubbed with the silk as a positive. So the other kind of the charge is said to be negative. It also observed that when the charged glass rod is brought near to the charged plastic straw rubbed with the polythene, so there is an attraction between these two objects. Now, what do you think would to be the kind of the charge of the plastic straw? So you guess that the plastic straw would carry a negative charge is correct. Okay. That means the electrical charge generated by rubbing are the static and they do not move. One more thing, whenever we are rubbing an object, so the charge which is gained by an object, that are the static and they do not move by themselves. So when the charge move, they constitute a electrical current, means the charge is moved from with the help of is started to move. So that is called your electrical current. You also have been read about the electrical current in your class 6, and the current in a circuit which make a bulb glow or the current that make a wire hot is nothing but it is a motion of a charge. Okay. So this is all about your today lecture. Rest of the things we will discuss in the next chapter.